evening, whatever time it is. It's raining again, I think. Or is that might just be condensation. Because it was cold. Anyway, I love when I can park at I love being able to park at shippers and receivers because it's so quiet and you don't have to worry about morons backing up against you, and it's just way better than parking at a truck stop. I mean, there's a few negatives, right? No bathroom readily available unless I want to walk 500 yards or something stupid. No shower, nothing like that. But I got a little food in my truck. A warm bed. I just needed to take a 10. So. Go get this thing washed out in Joplin, and then go pick up this load in Springdale. Let's get to turn the light on so you can see my face. We'll find some socks. I don't have to climb up there every time. I can actually reach it, but last February I hurt my knee, my left knee, and I'm still trying to get the strength built back into it, so I'm not so good at the stepping up with it, but the stepping down with it, bending it on the way down kind of helps. That's loud. Build up a little strength over time, hopefully. Try to step up in the truck on my non-dominant leg, right on my left leg, so I can kind of build some strength up into it. I'm going right back to that is it Kroger? I gotta delete some apps on my phone or something. I keep reaching my max limit on recording time. I just gotta keep remembering to delete the previous videos footage from. I gotta move it to the trash. I turned the trash off for a while, and then I accidentally deleted some footage from one of my videos, and I couldn't reclaim it. So now I keep the trash on. But now I have to remember to go in and clear the trash when I need extra space on my phone. One of these days, if I keep going, I'll get some better equipment, maybe some GoPros and laptops and stuff. Because I do everything on my phone. I have editing software on my phone. All the footage is on my phone. It's just kind of a pain in the butt because I can't record if I happen to need to be on the phone, all that stuff. Can't record some of the ridiculous conversations I have on the phone either with company stuff. Also, I'm getting back into intermittent fasting. So, about 3 years ago, I got up to 280 pounds. And I'm now, last time I weighed myself, I was 230. I got down to like 225, and then I hurt my knee and gained a little bit of weight, and I'm kind of getting back down to it. But I'm not getting down there as fast as I'd like to, so I'm going to do what I did the first time to start shedding some pounds a little quicker, and that's intermittent fasting. So, like, no food today, very minimal calories at all. Like, I do drink sodas and stuff, but I don't drink a lot of them, and I'll drink the diet ones or water today, trying to reduce my calories. It's the fastest way I've found to lose weight, just fasting, because no food today, which just try to get that in your head, and it's really hard to resist when you go into truck stops and there's all that crap just available, you know. So I'll try to avoid going into a truck stop today, except to get fuel. Actually, I already got fuel, so I don't have to go into a truck stop today. not usually one to spend money on sound stuff like stereo stuff, but this sound system in this truck is just abysmal. It is like the worst thing. I'm gonna try to turn it up. I can't play much because it'll copyright claim my video. Trash. It's trash. I need to figure out what kind of speakers are in these doors and see if I can't upgrade them a little bit. I'd like to just upgrade the speakers and see if, because that'll be the cheapest thing I can do, and see if that'll just improve the sound a little bit. And if not, I'll have to get a small amp or something like that to drive the speakers, because they sound like trash. I don't hardly listen to music on the radio because it just sounds so crappy. And I play guitar and stuff, so I have an ear for music, and you want to hear it the way they intended it to be heard. So I could turn the bass all the way down, and then I could hear it without all the buzzing, but then it just sounds like trash still. So I need to look into taking these door panels off at some point and see what kind of speakers they have in there, and see if I can't order something a little better than what's in there, because they are junk. That is for sure. Really didn't want to have to stop tonight, but I've had this trailer 2 or 3 times in the last month, and there's little detail here that I gotta get resolved before I get delivered. There's supposed to be a hook here that attaches to this, so you can anchor the doors open, see, like that. It's been missing for a while. I can get away with it sometimes and just kind of be careful, but last time I tried it, the door swung up and it almost smacked another truck next to me, so I'm going to grab a bungee cord to hold the door open. That'll do, pig. backing into this place is like 10 times harder than it has to be because of stuff like this. This dude could back, what is that, 20 feet? Even further if he slides his tandems up. Instead, he left his nose sticking out in the aisle for no reason. Because he's too lazy to get out of his truck, come over and see how much further he could go and back up. So, because the reason they don't back up all the way is because they're afraid they're going to rip off. Oh, there's another one. Look at this. You got another 20 feet you can back up if you want to get out of the aisle.
I mean, I can back up.
Yeah, I'm the unreasonable one. Whatever. At least it's only sprinkling and not pouring down because I got to walk all the way down there. That's new. Looks like they put a bathroom in there. Never noticed that before. Guess Kroger can't afford a sidewalk. It's alright. It's why I wear boots and not tennis shoes. So I can walk through mud and not get my feet wet. Hoping what I'm hearing at the gate there isn't indicative how this delivery is going to go. A couple of guys up there complaining that they've been waiting on a door for 4 or 5 hours. That would really suck. Sitting here using my mirror and my new straight blade here to kind of clean up the edges on my beard. The guy came out with the bills. I swear he stopped a little sooner than he usually would because I had this in my hand, and he kind of reached up and gave me my bills. He's like, "Have a blessed day," and walked away. I think I freaked him out because I had this big old blade in my hand. It's kind of funny. But I'm empty. Got 2.5 hours left on my clock. I need to look on my app here and see how far the next truck stop is. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go park in the staging area. It's not busy during the day, so I'm not going to be hurting anything. The next closest truck stop's over an hour away, and I've been to that truck stop. I mean, if I was going to get out of Memphis, right? Because I wouldn't leave here unless that was my intentions, just to get out of Memphis. It's over an hour away, and it's a tiny little pilot that I don't want to park at. I've parked there before. It's a pain in the butt. It stays full most of the day and all that. So, I guess I got to pull all the way out. I'm going to leave enough space here. But yeah, so I'm just going to park over in their staging area as long as the guard doesn't try to kick me out.
out of here sometime tonight around 10, 9:30, something like that. I think, yeah, Goodlettsville is still Central Time. So yeah, I'm not gonna lose an hour going to Goodlettsville. You got to be careful with that in Tennessee, because you can think you're good on time. If you don't know where the line is, you've got to look it up, make sure you're in the right time zone, because somewhere right down the middle of Tennessee is the Eastern time zone. So half of Tennessee is in Central, and the other is in, you know, the Eastern edge there, the Eastern third or so is Eastern. Don't want to be late. We'll shut these trailer doors. We'll park. Show you in a second here what I had to do to get that other door to stay open. Bunch of cord all the way. Normally, if I was at a place that historically didn't need to see in the trailer, I would just go ahead and seal it up before I left. But Kroger is supposed to look in your trailer. I've been to a bunch of Krogers. Just because they didn't do it last time doesn't mean they don't want to do it this time. And it's a big pain in the butt if you seal that trailer and then they want to see in it. They're going to make you break the seal. And what the seals are, if you don't understand, is a guarantee that nobody's been in that trailer since I left or whatever. So what would happen if I got to my final there in Goodlettsville and I had to put a different seal on it because I had to break the seal, is that if there was anything missing, like the shipper didn't, you know, send all the product, which happens all the time in the trucking industry. If there's anything missing, then there's no way I can prove that I didn't take it, or, you know, I'd be held responsible because the seals don't match. Also, if the seals don't match the bills, when you go to a weigh station, if they actually check that, because I've never actually seen a DOT check it, but they can. And if it doesn't match, they're going to break the seal and they're going to go through your trailer looking for contraband, because there are some idiots on the road that bootleg stuff, and that's a good way to have to deal with the DOT. So we'll make sure your seals match. Let's see if they're going to make me open the doors there. Nope, they're going to let me right out. It's a pretty good indication when they just open the doors before you even get to, open the gate before you even get to it. They're like, go ahead. Stopped there to ask that night driver why he parked it the way he did. Like, why didn't you back all the way in? You know, I was trying to be polite about it, trying not to get in his face about it. But I was like, you know, you got like 30 feet back there. Why didn't you back all the way in so you're not out in the middle of everything? And he's like, oh, I'm about to leave. I was like, yeah, but you've been here for a while. You were here when I pulled in this morning. And it's like people are having a hard time getting around you. It's like, it wouldn't have taken you that long to, you know, check and see how far you had, so you could take up as little space as you could. And he said again, you know, I'm about to leave. I was like, I understand that, but I asked him, like, how long you been driving? He's like, oh, like 6 months. It's like, all right, well, I understand you're new, but it's like you got to try to be courteous to other drivers. And it's like whether you're at a truck stop or staging area or whatever, you got to try to take up as little space as possible. It's like the statistics say like 95% of all truck-related accidents or insurance claims happen back in like close quarters parking. Like almost all truck insurance claims happen in parking lots because, and a lot of it could be avoided if people just try to take up as little space as possible. I was trying to be polite to him. He's like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'll pay more attention next time. I was like, all right, buddy, have a good day. I'm not trying to preach at you or anything. I just, maybe you weren't thinking about it, but it's like it doesn't cost you but 30 seconds to get out and go see how much space is behind you and finish taking up that space so you're not taking up the space everyone else has to use to back up. He's like, yeah, you're right. I'll think about that next time. It's all right. Have a nice day. And he's like, all right, you too, brother. Okay. It's like that's the kind of stuff they don't teach in trucking school. I mean, I went to trucking school in 2013. They basically wanted to get you in and out of there as fast as humanly possible. They didn't really care. But if I was teaching trucking school, that'd be one of my main things. It's like, since how it's most accidents happen in parking lots, you teach these young drivers, all right, buddy, how to be a little more courteous and leave some space so that kind of stuff doesn't happen. Take up every inch you got. That's my tire, right up against the thing. You don't want to go over it because you can rip your mud flap off. You can see how that would happen. If I kept going and pushed it up over the curb, it can push that mud flap, rip it right off of its mount. I've never done that on a concrete curb. I did it in the mud once. It was better put the seal on here while I'm back here. Up in Columbus Junction, Iowa, which is just outside of Omaha, and it was at the end of the snowy season, and I was at this little meat plant, and they didn't have a paved lot. It was all like gravel, but it had gotten so sloppy that it was just mud, and backing up to the dock, the mud was so deep that it ripped my mud flap off. I picked up a lot of trailers with mud flaps hanging off or completely missing because people rip them off and then not handle it and then just leave it for someone else to deal with. That's the main issue I have with other drivers, is leaving crap for other people to handle. I do not like that at all, because I've probably spent a month over the last 10 years, if you add it all up cumulatively, waiting on shops or in a shop fixing problems that someone else left for me, because I'm not getting those tickets. I'm not getting those out of services if I can avoid them. And so if I pick up a trailer with a problem that's DOT, I'm going to report it and get it fixed. Diesel. Now, and I realize that might sound ironic because I'm not going to do that with this trailer latch, tie up, whatever you call it, because that's not a DOT issue, and I don't want to spend all day at a trailer shop waiting for somebody to come out and bolt a freaking hook to the side of the trailer when I can fix it with a $3 bungee cord. But I'm done for today. I'm going to hang out here till, like I said, 8, 9 o'clock tonight, and then I'll run over to Goodlettsville, get that thing delivered. I really hope that this time around at AWG is not as crappy. Last time I went in there, they were so busy that they were parking people on the street. There's no parking signs everywhere, but they're like, oh, you're good to park there until we call you. It's like, that's not really how that works, but okay. And then they ended up leaving a whole pallet of stuff on my truck that I had to get rid of. So see you tomorrow, or tonight. Come on, buddy.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Won't you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? It was my favorite show as a kid. Might have had something to do with the fact that he was Mr. Rogers and my name is Roger. Oh. Who knows? Yeah, it probably was a little bit of a narcissistic thing because I also loved Roger Rabbit. But that might have been because of Jessica Rabbit. But it's 9:15, 3.5 hours from Goodlettsville. Ooh, stop somewhere between here and there, grab a bite to eat, and then go deliver at AWG there in Goodlettsville. Hi, puppers. You say hi to YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Hey. Say hi. Hi, buddy. This is a morning ritual. He comes and snuggles with me and tells me hi every morning. Hi, buddy. He's a very snuggly boy. That's the plan. If I can get out of this staging area here. On this thing up to Goodlettsville, and then when I'm done there, my next load picks up in Louisville, Kentucky, 1600, so 4 o'clock this afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon. Lord have mercy. And then that delivers to Carthage for the next evening. So it's raining again. I love the rain, I do. But it has rained every single day since I left the house. Every day. Again, I love the rain. I think the world's a more beautiful place when it's wet. Everything's shiny and pretty and clean. But it's rained every day since I left the house. I noticed something really weird. I have never in my life set this clock. It's 2 minutes behind. That means at some point I had to have unplugged it and plugged it back in at 2 minutes to midnight maybe. And it just happened to be, because it's 21:26 and it is 21:28. That is bizarre. I just looked at it, I was like, how is that so close? Because I've never set that clock. That's weird. This is hours later, but that scene you just saw where that Hobby Lobby truck passed me, merged, and then less than quarter of a mile exited, is the biggest douchey move you can do. Doesn't matter if you're a truck driver or four-wheeler driver. If you know you're going to exit, why would you pass a truck? You're now going to have to slow down in front of me, hindering my day for no reason. It saves you what? 0.03 of a second at those speeds. At a quarter mile with 2 mile an hour differences, not going to change anything. Just stay behind me and exit behind me. Why would you go around me just to get in my way? Doesn't make any sense.
place is exactly the same way it was last time I came here 2 years ago. And that is trucks all the way up and down the block in parking lots nearby because they can't get a dock door. So I'm not super excited about this wait that I'm about to have. I guess this K&B driver's waiting for a call too. This place sucks. I hate receivers like this that don't have any plan for staging trucks, and you're supposed to just park all up and down the street and block up everything. And park on the street. I don't have a door for me yet. So coming into this gate, and we got people coming in from both sides. So one from coming at me went in, so I got like I was going to go in behind him because we're taking turns. The dude behind the guy coming in honked his horn and started yelling out the window. I was like, take turns, dude. What? You're coming from both sides. You go, I go. You go, I go. It's common sense. And he put the thing in gear and lunged at my truck like he's going to hit me. I lost it. The whole security guards had to come out. Didn't have to, but they heard the drama and came out. I explained to them what happened, and they're like, people are just impatient. It's like, I'm sorry to start drama, but dude started cussing me out and stuff just because I was doing common decency, right? If you got 2 lanes of people coming from both directions, you take turns. It's that simple. But I guess he's too stupid to figure that out. My adrenaline is still going from that. Every now and then you run into another truck driver that's just got no decency, no common sense. It ticks me off more when it's a truck driver because that means you're just a piece of garbage and you shouldn't be on the highway in a CDL, with a CDL. If you're gonna act that way coming into a parking lot, you act that way on the freeway. Right? That's the kind of guy that'll come up beside you and block you in the lane when you're trying to merge and just hang out there, or cut you off and then brake check you. It's that kind of guy. Let's see if he's got any more to say as I'm driving out, because I tried to ignore him 3 times and he started talking shit out the window. That last time I walked up to his truck, it's like, get out your truck then. Keep talking shit. You're still sitting behind the locked door of your truck. Get out. See how much of a pussy I am. He called me a pussy. Like, well, get out. I'll show you how much of a pussy I am. I guess my appointment's technically 2:30, so half an hour early. No, he's not gonna let me out. So. Same guy. Don't expect him to be courteous the second time. Probably thinks I'm trying to race him to the dock door. I don't care. Just go. Check my mud flaps, make sure I didn't pull them off. Freaking potholes so deep in the thing, you couldn't tell how deep it was because of water in it. There was some indication because of the mud flaps sitting there, but I tried to avoid it and couldn't really. Let's make sure my mud flaps aren't done. Come on, buddy. Diesel, stop pulling. Oh, still got mud flap. Check the trailer. I don't think my trailer went through it. I can see the mud flap there. We're all good. At least I don't have to sit on the street. They have a little space up here. if you have long mud flaps, I wouldn't recommend backing up in this lot. And again, if you want to know why there's shippers and receivers don't let trucks park, it's not a trash dump, folks. Though you couldn't tell it from looking at it, it's not a trash dump. The reason his doors are open is probably because he came up here and tossed a bunch of crap out into the lot. And you can see how often this place rejects product. And some of these drivers just come out here and dump it out. Little pieces of pallet everywhere, big pieces of pallet everywhere. Whole piece, like that's a bulkhead off the front of somebody's trailer. Man. Oh, not to mention bottles of piss. We don't have a parking shortage in this country. We have a shippers don't want us in their lots problem in this country. You see all these TikToks of these truck drivers talking about we have a huge parking shortage. It's like, no, sir. Every shipper in this country has space. Almost every, not all, most. And they'd allow you to park there, except for shit like this. Come on. Come on, bud. You don't need all that rotten food. Well, 3 hours later, they got a dock for me. Gave me a chance to clean my truck up, though. Looking all tidied up and clean. Put my shoes back on and go down there and get docked up. Probably gonna take just as long to unload me as they did to get me in the door. So maybe I'll get a chance to get some sleep down there. Like I said, I got to be in Louisville by 4 o'clock this afternoon. I've got 3 pallets on this trailer, so Capstone is about to either prove me right or prove me wrong. It shouldn't take more than half an hour to pull 3 pallets off a truck, count it, sign the bills, and give it back. Shouldn't. It's 5:49 right now. I'll check back in when I'm done. See how long it takes them. I'll never understand it. I'll never understand how they could take that long for 3 pallets. You know, they get paid by the hour. I don't. I get paid by the mile. Sitting here for 3 hours for, it's way longer than that, by the way, because that's how long I've been in the dock. I sat here for another 3 hours. So total, as of now, it's been 5.5 hours. 2 hours and 30 minutes in the door, 3 hours waiting on a door. 8:38. They're finally done with me. Just brought me out my bills. Oh, I'm gonna put this address into the GPS and head up to Louisville. Pick up this next load. I still got almost 6 hours on my clock. It's a 2-hour drive. She said she'll do her best to get me loaded before my appointment if I get there early. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna start the next video. This will be the end of this one.